My voice is kind of messed up. I had to fix so many things for this to work. Look, wow, what great timing. The ad's over now. Hello. I'm here. There you go. Yay, my thingy worked. I need to fix it though. Thank you. You don't have to keep subscribing. I barely use this anymore. I would like to more, but fucking being an adult sucks. Work too much. BBG too much. Nah, not too much, but you know what I mean. It's a lot of time. Lot of time. I feel... Damn, dude. How's the audio? Because the audio was all fucked up when I was trying to fix this. It seems like I'm really loud or something. Wait, this is the volume. Hold on. Am I peaking now? Hello? Okay, maybe a couple notches. Hello? Testing, 1, 2. Audio good. Thank you, Pixel. Seems fine. Everything was like messed up. I had to like add all kinds of shit. I think OBS updated and then I haven't like worried about it in a long time. So I had to like change all kinds of shit. As long as you can hear the music and you can hear me, then we're good. It's gonna be pretty much a little PowerPoint. I don't have PowerPoint though, so it's a little slideshow we're gonna go through and talk about some stuff. Might as well change over now. Fuck it. It was. You got a shirt? No, this is from last year. I wish I got a shirt, bro. I was trying to pay more money to get another shirt, but it was a different. What do you call it? I keep wanting to say provider, but that's not the right word. Organizer. There's a different organizer this year. Last year it was day 2 events. This year I don't know who it was. Forgot. The only reason I remember it was day 2 events is because it's written on the fucking shirt. But yeah, last year you were able. So I paid like there was like 3 different tiers. You could just buy an entry. You could get the thing that I got, which was like a fast pass through the line, and you got a shirt and a couple of tickets for side events. And then there was like a crazy one that gave you like a shirt and like, I forgot what it was. It was, I think it was like it might have just came with like packs automatically or some shit. But I thought the second tier was like definitely worth it. I love having this shirt. I gotta make my own at some point, me and David. And maybe the other boys that I've met along the way. That's kind of crazy too, and I guess I can talk about that. I don't want this stream to be like crazy short, but I feel like I'll go through all the information fairly quickly. But like last year, San Antonio. So I went to San Antonio Regional. This is the whole point of this thing, in case nobody knows. But last year I went and I felt like I had a like better grasp of the meta probably, and I was playing like a top tier deck. I didn't do well at all, and but it was my first regional. I was just having fun. But of course I wanted to do okay. I wasn't even, I think always the goal is day 2, but even now it seems like so out of reach. But did bad, but it was just me and David, and I took my little brother as well, who likes card games, but I don't think Pokemon really was his thing. He doesn't even play anymore. He likes Magic. So but we just had fun and it was a good time. But it was just us. Even though we were going to locals and stuff like that, it was always just us. This year I have a lot of friends now through like going to locals and stuff. It's kind of crazy. So we were mobbed up in like a group and stuff, and that was cool. Yeah, and the girls. Yeah, they went last year as well. It was just the fact of, even through all of my years of playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I went to locals alone. Like, David wasn't even going. And you have like acquaintances because you like see each other every week or whatever. But I never like made any friends. Yu-Gi-Oh was always awful with that. I don't know why that's the case. But whatever. And then, but this year I've met some people that are chill and talk with them, and actually a couple people from work, and that's how like we kind of had like even ground. But now we have like a little stupid Facebook chat and stuff. I fucking hate Facebook. Made me download Facebook because apparently they have a group chat, but only iPhone people can be in it. So I guess it's a Facebook group for girls or something, but whatever. But yeah, sorry about my voice. Kind of all fucked up. I started losing my voice day one of playing. I don't think I'm sick, but my throat is definitely messed up. I don't know what it would be, because I don't think like it's like just me like losing my voice, because it like hurts a little bit, but so I'm sure I'm like some level of sick, but besides my throat being messed up, that's all it is. I don't feel bad or anything like that. Shout them out. There's Jacob, there's Mark, there's other Mark, there's Milton, that's some other cool people. And just being more familiar with people in general, like there's Leo, there's Angel, all kinds of people. Frank's pretty, he can get a little salty when he's losing, but he's a good guy. He almost made day 2. So the whole point is the results of this is I actually made day 2, which is a huge accomplishment, and that was the goal. Little bittersweet because my luck definitely ran out day 2 of play, and so I did awful. Bro, my connection is so bad. What's wrong with the connection? What's happening? You watching on your flip phone? Hopefully it's not on my end. It seems like it's doing okay, so. Valhalla, is everything looking good? I can't really not spoil it. The only way I can show you all the results is through all of it. Not on your end? Okay. But yeah, this is the deck that I ran. And so going back to the point of like me going to regionals the first year, and also this feels like so pretentious doing it, but like Chris, you made a good point, and like I normally used my stream in general as just like a documentation of my life or whatever. So it is an accomplishment, and I felt really accomplished when I made day 2, but after day 2, it didn't feel so great because I'm literally all the way at the bottom, which is funny, but it was, I'll go over all the rounds or whatever. It was just like hyper bad luck, dude. It was not my day that day, so I can't really complain. But it is an accomplishment, and I should remember that, because even though I'm all the way at the bottom of the day 2 results, I'm on the day 2 results, which is crazy. But anyway, just as like a log of what happened, it is an accomplishment, but it is not a crazy one. I didn't fucking, I'm not doing this to brag. It's really just, I don't know, documentation of it happening, I guess. But going back to the point, the first year I brought Charizard, which ended up taking the tournament. A fuck ton of people were playing Charizard. It's a very good deck. It's still a good deck. It's not as crazy as it was back then, but at that time, that deck was, the deck. It was like the meta deck, right? This year, I didn't bring everybody was calling it fucking C tier, shit like that. And I was like, no. I have played this deck. This deck is very good. And I made day 2. So it's really just like maybe just it's a lot of play the deck that you know well, and then I guess trust your instincts. That's a thing too that I've noticed recently is it's no like shade on these certain people, but like, you know, big like TCG YouTubers and stuff like that. Sometimes they're completely fucking off, like as far as predictions and shit, or they like legitimately like don't tell you all the information. I got to meet some cool people. I didn't go and talk to LDF, even though I wanted to. I didn't want to bother him. Every time I saw him walking around, he was always talking with somebody. So I didn't want to be that guy to interrupt somebody and be like, hi. And I probably wouldn't ask for a picture. It seems weird. I did meet Chip, though. He's an announcer. Shook his hand. Told him I liked the podcast. He's a lot taller in person. I know I saw him last year, too, but I didn't like go and say hi and meet him or whatever. But I remember that from last year. He's way taller than you think he is. At least I don't know why. Maybe I thought he was short. I have no idea. But anyway, he's tall. But a lot of the YouTubers are kind of off, or they withhold information. I've seen, you know, the predictions, you know, Reggie Drago is going to be like crazy, which of course it is crazy and it is a very strong deck, but you know, thinking that it's going to just be flooded in the meta and then it doesn't even make fucking top cut, stuff like that. Or, you know, tier lists where I love LDF. He's my favorite person because he's not douchey at all. Sometimes you can get to any type of creator when they get all they're like big creators, right? So a lot of people watch them. So that's like an ego boost. And then two, if they're like an actual good prevalent player, I think there comes some type of pretentious from that. But LDF, you know, did a tier list, and I'm pretty sure he put Gholdengo in C tier, and that's a favorite deck of his. He ends up bringing it and goes, he made like 78th place, like just bubbled out of top 64. So not saying he did that on purpose, because I did watch his recap video about everything went, and he was like in between a couple of decks. But it's just stuff like that. Like you really got to go based on your own thing. And going back from like, I thought like, I think I knew the meta more on last regionals, because I was only going to locals and stuff, but I know more information about the game in general. I think I've become a better player, and this deck synced up with me. The decks that I tend to like are a little harder to set up, and this one is like an in-between. I don't like big basic decks. David does. I think it gets really boring. And then the decks that I generally like, you know, require rare candy, which can be slow. So this was like somewhere in between. I don't know. I fucking Pokemon, half the cool reason of Pokemon is that Pokemon evolve. So I like to evolve my Pokemon. I don't know. It's like a weird reasoning for that, but whatever. I like Zapdos. Zapdos is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. No hate on anybody. I like him too. I think, I don't know. And I also don't like religiously watch anyone. If somebody's talking about a deck that I like, I'll watch it, or like tier lists, all that kind of stuff, or new cards revealed. I like watching those. But everything that comes out, I don't sit there and watch it. But I don't do that with anybody anymore, really. I don't have the time. Even when I was streaming, like, relatively regularly, you know, the most I ever was, I never watched Twitch. I have a lot of friends that stream, and it sounds bad, but I don't watch anybody stream. I don't know. I'm always doing something else. I always put on background shit, which I understand you can do with streams, but this is completely off topic, but whatever. I always put on, like, I've been watching a lot of D&D streams recently, because it's basically like listening to a book. Watch every Spoons video. Kind of bummed. Yeah, you don't want to bother people, but bummed that you didn't. Yeah. Which normally I would say fuck it. It was just cool to see him in person. I'd like to say hi, shake his hand, that kind of thing to LDF. But I don't know. He was the top Gholdengo player, and I was the bottom, but I was there. I don't know if I should break down the deck list. I probably can. I ran the Togekiss build. Here, I don't know if you can. I ran the Togekiss build. I was running pretty much this exact same all the way up until like a week before. I was trying to fit in some stuff that I really wanted. This is too hype right now. We need to go to the chill stuff. There. Keep it on there. There's a lot of stuff that I was trying to fit in to make it work. There was things that I felt like the deck needed more of. Like for the longest time, I was only running one boss. I ended up putting in a second one and throwing in the Thornton to make sure I got my Togepi off. I probably used Thornton once. I don't think it was a bad call to play the Thornton. I love the card Thornton. I just think in certain situations it just did not. I don't know. It wasn't the best play, or I couldn't get to it. I don't play a Luminion or anything, and maybe that would have been a good idea. But there was so many things that I would love to have in this deck, but the space is very, very tight. There are certain things you cannot cut, and it's a decent amount of shit. And my whole goal was to set up. If I set up, then I have a fighting chance against any deck, I believe. Besides, a deck that literally hard counters me, which I actually dodged everything as far as what I consider a bad matchup, because I feel like I have a decent matchup against really anything, besides, control, certain stuff like that, and Guardy. One prize decks and any type of control are very bad for me. I didn't hit a single Guardy, which I was ecstatic about. I was dreading every setup before a game started to figure out what the hell they were playing, because Guardy would have been very bad for me, and I would have had to get pretty lucky. Especially with best of 3, and especially if they were playing Mawile. There are a couple of things. I don't know if maybe I should do a better view of the actual deck itself. There you go. The only thing you can't really see is a Pokestop, which is right there, and then this dark energy that's back there. So big things to point out: the Manaphy, any Palkia deck that can just destroy my opening setup is a very scary thing with Greninja. So I ran the Manaphy, and it's also there for Drago. They can do the Kyurem play, and that's essentially like Greninja, but even worse. So that was really there for them. I didn't run into a single Drago, I think, the entire tournament. I didn't hit one. And I don't think I have a bad matchup against Drago either. So that's good and bad, I guess. But essentially, the Manaphy did nothing. I think the only time I actually benched it where I wanted to bench it was I went against a Lugia player who was running the Water Ogerpon that can do some type of like spread damage like that. And that was scary. So I was like, I'll bench this just to make sure, because I don't want to get destroyed like that. But Manaphy, a lot of people have been cutting, but I knew that I would kick myself. And also, I needed another water to search off of Irida, and I have a love-hate with Luminion. Luminion would have been pretty good with the Thornton, and knowing what I know now, maybe I should have, but whatever. Fez, automatic include, it's broken as hell. Cypher, this is the best fucking supporter in this whole deck. Irida, even though I'm only running 2 water Pokemon, this is the reason why I still kept it at 3, and maybe I should have change this. Yeah, I don't know. Here, we'll go over the changes in a bit. But the reason I did it is because it can get me to my setup. If I go to turn 2, I can grab a Buddy Buddy Puffin, grab a Greninja, that kind of thing. The 2 bosses, I felt like I needed more Gust, and I cut completely Counter Catcher, because I am usually ahead, especially with the Togekiss. I can attack fairly quickly. I can 100% take knockouts. I did not punch anything and not KO it until day 2, and we'll get to that because day 2 was abysmal. Thornton is to make sure that Togepi gets online. Does not matter if you knock it out. I will surprise out of nowhere, bring out the Togekiss. Because at a certain point, Radiant Greninja, once you have all your energy in the discard, it can kind of go away. So you could Thornton out, take away the Greninja, throw in the Togepi, evolve it immediately. And same thing with this. Every list that I saw was getting lower and lower with the Pokeball count. I had like a horror week of 2 weeks back to back of me just getting donked and couldn't set up. And I didn't change the deck at all. When I first built a deck, I went undefeated at a locals, completely destroyed, and was doing well for like another 2 weeks. Thanksgiving came around. I didn't play for like a week, and this is not because of like skill issue or not practice. After I came back from that, coming back to locals, the next like 2 times I went to locals, I couldn't set up and I just got donked and destroyed. I don't know what the hell happened, but it scared the fuck out of me, where the point where I maxed out on nest balls because I never opened with Buddy Buddy Puffin. I don't know why. I might as well play 1 in my deck. Always have to search it. So the poor man's Buddy Buddy Puffin nest balls, just ran 4 of them. So make sure I set up, because it's usually a 3-3 count of nest ball and ultra ball, and I've even seen a 3-2 count. But I was like, fuck it, we're maxing out. Got a couple of Dusk Balls for you. Bro, Dusk Ball's pretty good. Search the bottom 7 cards of your deck. Find a Pokemon in there you put in your hand. It's pretty good. Ultra Ball, I didn't think I needed 3 of them. Also, I'm usually low on hand size. Double Rare Candy. It didn't happen this weekend, but at a locals, I prized 2 rare candies, which was a bummer. That did not happen this weekend. And a Diglett. Yes, I understand. This is a penis joke. Energy Search Pro. The whole reason I built the deck. You grab 1 of every single color of energy. Superiors, you have to max out on 4. Energy Retrieval, some people don't play it at all and run another Night Stretcher. I see the benefit of that, but sometimes like the perfect card to grab is Energy Retrieval. Earthen Vessel, 1 of, because Energy Search Pro makes it where, like, I don't know, you just don't need, you can grab the other 2 metal that you couldn't grab on Energy Search Pro, so that's the reason why it's in there. And then canceling Clone. So these are the counters to certain decks. Manaphy scares me from, Greninja, so have that to save me. Canceling Clone, you can get past Mimikyus because you're not going to be able to do it after that. The Stone Ogerpon, which is a certain deck that I'm sure I would have ran into on day 1 because people play crazy shit. And really the big one is Pikachu. If I went against Miraidon, make sure I can just destroy their Pikachu. Miraidon is a very good matchup for me anyway, but for the other stuff like Mimikyu and maybe Thorns and stuff like that, canceling Clone was not a bad idea. Switch is there specifically for the Mawile and Blocklax, that kind of stuff. Didn't run into any of that. But if I was caught without it, I would have lost the game. And then the second game, they just benched that and we're done. So, because it is best of 3. So as soon as you find out that your opponent doesn't have an answer to something, you just turbo that and then it's over. So Switch is good. And it's also not just a counter. It's also very good as far as, if you can use it proactively and draw 4 cards with 2 Gholdengos instead of just 3, which is pretty cool. So it's almost not a counter, it's almost just like a good card, but it's very good on that end. Pokestop 2, I think this was correct. I did like playing 3. I played 3 for a long time. I ended up cutting 1 for one of the bosses. If anybody's playing a field or a stadium card, it's going to be Pokestop at the time. It's either Jamming Tower, Pokestop, or Area 0. And Area 0 is specific for their deck, and it doesn't do anything to me. Like it just makes their deck function, which I can bump with Pokestop. And then, or if they're, you know, playing a Pokestop deck, I don't want a third dead card in my deck, so having 2, I'll just use theirs. Fuck it. And Jamming Tower does nothing to me. I don't play any tools, so I don't care about that. And then the energy count is pretty standard for something like this. 10 energy, 3 metal. If I were to change stuff, and I still played this variant, I might have cut a Togepi, ran a Heavy Ball. The reason for that is I prized... K's jumping on my lap. I prized Radiant Greninja so many fucking times. A lot of day 2 times, and it was bad. Other thing is, let's see. Since I didn't use the Manaphy, but I kind of needed it, I could see this is also the other thing when talking about it right now. This might have been the better play. Only play 2 Irida and have an Iono. I'm going to do this real quick. There you go. Because this can unfuck your bad hands in the very beginning. And then also it's disruption for the end, right? And I can draw so many cards that... So this is probably the better way of going about it. Which I do like. LDF made a huge... I don't know, point to play Bibarel. And I do like that because decks that Iono spam, this basically stops that, and it's a 1-prizer. I don't know what the hell I would take out to do that, so I don't think it's really possible in this type of deck. But also to make sure the Lumineon would have been nice to make sure I could get to my Thornton when I needed it. Certain times there were options for Thornton, but you just can't. Yeah, I didn't get Thornton. So, like, maybe instead of the Manaphy, you run a Lumineon. But it makes me want to run a Turo at that point. Which, I don't know. But that's in hindsight as far as me not using the Manaphy at all. I still think the Manaphy is kind of correct. But yeah, that was the deck. Let's see. These are my matchups. The top part is day 2. I don't want to talk about that. No, we'll talk about it, but it's fine. So, first deck I get paired against, it says Palkia here, but is Ceruledge Palkia. Ceruledge, they have big advantage towards me. I don't think the matchup is bad, but they have hit for weakness, and all they do is ditch energy into the grave and then hit really big. For me, since I'm weak to it, they don't have to ditch that much. It's definitely, they're already KOing me after turn 1. All they need is 5 energies in the discard and 1 attached to their Pokemon, and they can just keep destroying me. It just was, I don't know, maybe I was tired. It was just bad. Bad start. Lost my first game. I had a really rough start. Lost the first game to that. They just end up, it's really just a prize trade. So if whoever knocks out the first thing first. So I just ended up losing that one. Second one was Lugia. This was all my fault. Well, kind of. It's just, so I had 2 judge calls in this game. You know, still early, not feeling great after losing my first round. At one point, I went to cut my opponent's deck, and cutting their deck, it didn't do anything crazy, but it somehow miraculously, never have had this happen, flipped over my last 2 prize cards face up, both of them, So we called a judge. They were like, all right, it's a warning. Here's some extra time. They did all kinds of shenanigans or whatever. But complete accident. Freak accident, to be honest. I was completely worried about that for the rest of the day. So I went about cutting people's deck very differently and very gingerly. Second game. So he won that game. Second game, we're playing or whatever. He has a Iron Hands and puts a Legacy Energy on it. I don't know why. I've done this before. I go for the knockout. I take 2 prizes, and he's like, I have a Legacy Energy. You just took 2 prizes. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I get, another warning, but, and I was set up to, I was winning the prize trade. I got a DPL, double prize loss, and he ended up winning because all he needed was 2 more prizes at that point. I would have won. I think the first game I won, and then the second game, the double prize loss, lost me that game, and then it was time, so we tied, which is a bit of a bummer, but that's better than a loss. After that, shake off all the bullshit. I did not play against Pidgeot Control. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is not Pidgeot Control. This was Terapagos. I don't know why it's saying Pidgeot Control. That's odd. Anyway, this was Terapagos. I don't know if it was like a non-experienced player or if he really bricked this hard, but absolutely destroyed him. My first win of the game. So I went on a 6-win streak after this to win in and even have where the last game didn't matter. I was already in day 2 on round 8. Pidgeot, or I keep saying Pidgeot Control because that's what it says, but it was Terapagos, beat them. Next one was Miraidon, absolutely destroyed him. Miraidon's one of my best matchups. It's just a 2 prize. I just eat them. Second one, Raging Bolt, same thing. Raging Bolt, this one, I rolled heads. Okay, so until Raging Bolt, these first rounds, I didn't even get out Togepi. I'm just fighting for my life. In this game that I even won, didn't even use Togepi, didn't roll a single dice. Was never set up. I was just taking 2 prizers and, going about my day like that. But when we get to the Raging Bolt, first time I was able to set up the Togepi, I rolled heads every single time. So I just absolutely destroyed him. Raging Bolt is kind of like the Ceruledge matchup. I think I'm favored. I don't think there's any problem with that matchup, but it is just a can you return KO me and whoever takes the first knockout. Lugia, I ran into a lot of Lugia. So Lugia won this one. I think it was the same deal where I just rolled heads like crazy. Double win there. I don't think I ever did 3 games except for, the 2 ties. It was because the third game ended in time. So first Lugia, just rolled heads, destroyed him. Second Lugia, this opponent was weird. That's all I really remember. He was kind of tilted. Just beat him normally. Probably a heads or 2 in there. Ceruledge. This was, if I win this game, I'm in. If I don't, I absolutely have to win my next game. This one I was going to get Ceruledge once again. I knew how the matchup went. He kept going first because they want to go first. But it was actually to the detriment of them because every time they went first, they had to attack first and they only could take 1 prize. So it puts them on uneven prizing, and then I'm just taking 2 hit knockouts. So that happened 2 games in a row. This one was pretty funny. This guy was pretty cool. He was skeptical, thinking that I was rolling a loaded dice because I only have 1 dice that I roll in my thing. And I kept rolling heads. I would roll heads once, so it would put me ahead of the prize trade every single time where there's no way he could come back. And it would get me just out of it would put me on uneven prizings, but ahead on the prize trade, meaning that he couldn't briar me to like win. And so it completely destroyed him every time. He was like skeptical. And I was like, you want me to use your dice? I'll use your dice. I have no problem with it. And he was like, yeah, sure. Like why not? It's just, you know, a little weird. You have one dice or whatever. Roll his dice, roll heads. And I'm like, what? Yeah, sorry, bud. It's just, that's the luck of the roll there. So that was kind of funny. Last game of day 2 was against Steven Verisco. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Apparently he was top 4 in Baltimore, so he was a very good player. First game he got it. Second game, you know, I've been playing for fucking, these are all 50 minutes. We didn't have a break for lunch. I've been playing for like 10 plus hours, and I already was in day 2. So, but I made a dumb mistake. I attached to something, and so I think that lost me the second game where I could have possibly won or at least even tied. And so, but it was my last game of the day. I think he did fairly well. I think he maybe was in top 16 this tournament. But anyway, lost that game. Day 2 is only 4 rounds, which is great. So you might as well play him out. First game, win against Charizard. Me and my opponent, his name is Felipe, I believe. He's a very good player. I think he did very well as well. Like as far as the tournament goes. It was against Charizard. Prized Greninja. It was very slow. I just couldn't set up, and he just had the nuts the first game. Second game, so I think, yeah, it was like both combination of that. It's just like bad prizing, and he like set up like crazy to the point where I couldn't like just, you know, destroy all the like Charizard is kind of, I say it's a favorite matchup because it's kind of like Dragapult. They have to use so many resources to set up that first one that if you just immediately knock it out, because they're not one-shotting you at that point, then like it collapses and it's very hard for them to recover. I wasn't able to do that. We were both just waking up. This is where it gets nutty. So just bad prizing, and then they had the nuts. So that was game 1 of day 2. Game 2 of day 2 went against a Raging Bolt player. First game, set up, do everything, use a nest ball or something like that. Like I said, Raging Bolt is a pretty good matchup for me. I go and search my prizes. I prized all 3 metal energy. So that means I cannot attack at all with anything. And then, so I was like, you got it. And so what I did is I scooped, but I started with like a Manaphy or something like that. So they had no idea what I was playing. So I was like, I'm going to scoop because you have no, like, I was like, I can't tell you why yet, because I was like freaking out about it. And I was like, I will tell you once you know, like, what I'm playing. But I just scooped so they didn't have any player knowledge of what I was playing. Game 2, this is how it can go with Raging Bolt. It's really just, you know, prize race. They ended up getting game 2. So, but we essentially only played 1 game because the first one I just had to give it to them. I couldn't do anything. I wouldn't be able to knock anything out in order to draw into one of those energy. So it was just pack it up. So really, really crazy prizing. It's never happened to me once ever. And then game 3, I just wanted to win 1 in day 2. Didn't end up doing that, but that's okay. Game 3 of day 2, I went against a Tropicos Dustamore player who was very competent and did very well. And also I was very unlucky once again. We played 2 games and I prized Energy Search Pro both games. And so there was no explosive turn 2. I couldn't just, you know, knock something out. It was, the whole game was me trying to get energy into my discard, which that game I had to like punch multiple times, like 1 energy off every time about trying to take a knockout. So it was just very bad. Last game, Charizard, he won 1 game, I won 1 game. it was 5 minutes before time was going to get called when we were going to set up a new game. And we're like, yo, it's the last round. You just want to tie. So he was very nice. It didn't matter at that point. So we just tied. But that is the breakdown of what I played against and how that all went. So went on a crazy streak day 1 to make my day 2. And then I had no business in being day 2, apparently. And luck was not on my side and got absolutely bodied on day 2. But that's how it be. Now I know it's possible. I'm a decent player. So my next goal is top 32. That is prizing, my friend. That is cash prizing, cash money. Getting day 2 here. I guess we'll go over that. I have pictures. This is Jacob that I said earlier. This is Mark, and this is Mark as well. This is us waiting in the line to get in. We were like one of the first people, so they took pictures and stuff. So I might be on some type of picture. I don't know. This is the mat and the promo we got. Unfortunately, it was Surfer. But whatever. The mat's cool. I like the mat better than last year's mat. It's more of a generic, and Latias. Yeah, Latias is the shit. The red one. I like the red one. The other one was Roaring Moon, which is cool. I like that deck or whatever, but it feels weird because it's an actual deck. It's not like a supporting Pokemon. So it's not like ubiquitous. I don't know. It just doesn't seem as cool. I love this mat. It's very cool. The promo is whack. Last year's, it's like the opposite. Last year's promo is pretty cool. It's Turo. Surfer. Nobody's using Surfer. I like the new logo though. This is a picture of the hall. A lot of people. All the way back here. Right here. That's where the stream games happen. There was even stuff behind the camera, like another fucking, essentially what you're looking at. A lot of people. I think there was 3,000. It's close to 3,000. It was 2,800 and something Masters players. I ended up being 243rd place. Here's David playing. Oh, my bad. I sent this to him last night. Was I fucking muted the whole time? Or did I just hit that right now? There's no way. No, there's no way. I was looking at the fucking levels. Anyway. Yeah, I have a picture of like the hall pretty empty because it was like day 1. It wasn't like completely empty, but I sent this to David last night. Chris actually took this. Okay, cool. And he said this is one of the like only games that he won. So I guess that's cool. Oh, like completely empty. Yeah, Chris said he couldn't find me, and I was like, damn, I wish I had a picture of me. Here's me and BBG. I look fat. I bought her so much shit. And then my friend Kane sent this to me last night, and I was like, yo, this is me at day 2, losing. Pretty cool. But at least I have a photo, and I don't look awful, because most of the time, like, my thinking face is really bad. I'm just like double chinned out. But somehow I blocked it, so that's cool. This was the like prizing. So end of day 1, I was 203rd place, and end of day 2, I was 243. Everybody in day 2 makes top 256. So I got 18 booster packs, 60 championship points, which is pretty cool. It was Surging Sparks, which was really nice. I opened those. I pulled some cool stuff. Not anything too crazy, but I pulled some cool stuff that I didn't have before. Surging Sparks is a very hard set to find. I don't necessarily need anything. I might need something because I'm cooking up some new decks here, because I think I'm going to play something different. until rotation. And then, so that was cool. Here in my pack. That's what I got. Fucking bands on bands, bro. Pretty cool. And then this is crazy because I look at Limitless. Everybody that plays the game looks at Limitless about anything. And I'm all the way down here, but I'm actually on a Limitless page now. 243. That's me. So I have my own Limitless page, which is very cool. I don't know why it says 3 points. I don't know what this means, because I have more points than that. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But you can even look at my list. Here's my list. But that's pretty much it as far as the recap goes. I can talk about, I guess, what I kind of been thinking about playing. But I'm also kind of planning on seeing if BBG wants to do it and the money on that, but I might go to NAIC. And originally I was going to go and just go as a spectator, so I don't put her through that, because it would be at least one full day of me just playing cards, and like we're supposed to be on vacation essentially. But I was thinking about it and I was like, if we're going for like a week or something, and you know, one of those days I'm playing cards, I don't think that's that big of a deal. I don't know, I'll talk to her about it. But I might go to NAIC either as a spectator or playing. And that could be really fucking crazy cool. I really want to go as a player to at least just get the shit, and of course play it out or whatever. So it would be very cool. We were kind of planning on doing it last year, and then it didn't end up happening, and then we were talking about it at the end of, you know, this tournament. And but we are trying to plan on moving in around the same time, so that kind of seems crazy. But you know, if I start saving money for it and shit like that right now, then I just have to get through fucking Valentine's Day, bro. It's ridiculous. Birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day. God damn it. They're like all in like a span of, it's 4 months. So it's birthday, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but if I start saving for it now, I don't think it should be a problem. But yeah, I want to go. It would be very cool. And this is, well, I'll remember. But anyway, here's the list. Happy with it. Oh, the other thing is, because it's, you know, kind of an accomplishment, a milestone of mine, I was thinking about taking the Gimme, or the Gholdengo, and then this Gimme Ghoul, and getting them graded, even though, you know, they're not going to be 10s or whatever, just the fact that they were in my deck. But I found one of these display things that it does the same thing, but it makes like the full art, and it's nice. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm not going to get them graded. I'm just going to like seal up 2 of them from my list, and I'll just buy them again and replace them. But it would be actually from my deck that I got my first day 2 invite. Just as a cool little thing, put it on the wall, that kind of thing. My own little trophy, I guess. Seems dumb, but whatever. Could be cool. But yeah, I guess I can show you what I've been cooking up. I think I'm gonna play this tonight. My friends are going to locals, and I told them I'll go. This is pretty spicy. Very cool, very different. Probably gonna get bodied because I've played with it like 4 times last night. Terapagos Charizard. I haven't told anybody, so they're gonna think I'm gonna be playing the Golden Boy, and then I play some fucking wild shit like this. Could be cool. The thing that I am actually considering of playing though, because this, I was like, I need a new deck to play. Badoo's gonna be illegal. I'm gonna get destroyed. What up, Sombra? I can't play Gholdengo against Badoo. I'm gonna get destroyed. Now this doesn't help at all either, but it did have some results or whatever, even with Badoo being legal. But I think the big bad in the Badoo being legal thing is going to be Dragapult, and I don't think this necessarily has a great Dragapult matchup. And if they Badoo you, you're kind of fucked. It happened last night and it was not good. So the second option that I was thinking about doing, because today Badoo won't be legal still, so I could still play that and it'll be fine. I should be fine. It'll just be a fun new deck to play. But when Badoo is legal, and if it is true that Dragapult is running around, I was thinking about playing this. Play some Badoo, play the Hydreigon, you know, spread some knock out all their fucking Dracloaks that they're trying to set up with Badoo. And of course, I can run into some problems here, you know, not being able to use items. I can't really rare candy and stuff like that, but I don't know. Seems cool. This is me thinking about playing it. That's not in there for real or whatever, but this right now is the list that I think I'll play until rotation. Apparently Zoroark is going to be good, and that seems cool, so I kind of want to pick up that. And it is dark type already, so maybe I can fit some of this shit in it. I have no idea. I don't know how the deck works yet, so just Badoo it. I'm trying. It's either I have to have a deck that doesn't care against Badoo, which is pretty much impossible, a deck that counters Badoo, which is difficult, or a deck that just plays it. You know, if you can't beat him, join him. Because this is essentially the same theory behind the Dragapult Badoo, is you're stalling while you set everything up. You stall and set up Hydreigon, it's gonna be bad news. That thing's big and chunky, and that attack is fucking crazy. So nobody's playing Enhanced Hammer, nobody's playing fucking Temple of Sinnoh, so the Neo Upper is pretty cool. I did kind of want to move away from a deck that dies when you prize the A-Spec, because that is what happened to me many times. This does die when you prize the A-Spec, so I don't know why I do this to myself. The decks that I'm interested in, just like, I know the faults, but I can't stop. Like, but oh, and also the reason I was thinking about this is because I pulled this full art from my prizing packs or whatever. So I was like, ooh, this could be interesting. And David was considering it before he got onto Archaludon. So I know he has the other pieces, so I'll just grab that from him. Put this together. It's pretty much like Zard or like Dragapult. Toadscroll's interesting. Don't know if that's gonna stay, but it is interesting. Petra is cool. I think I need to pick one of these up. I don't believe I own one. I did pick this up the other day. This card's crazy. And if I'm stalling with Badoo and then just get into this card and make them fucking discard everything that they weren't able to play, wild. Diabolical even. So I threw that in as a little spicy little one of. But yeah, this is what I think I'm gonna try to strive for to build. So if I need this card, and I need this art would be very cool to pick up. They're playing a different fucking Toadscroll, but I understand. Oh wait, this one's 50 HP. I can't read this one. Damn. None of the Toadscrolls are good. Toad's cool. Let's. This one's pretty good. Do none of them are over 60? Okay, well I guess it doesn't it does matter because that one damage counter they get to use, but I just have to make sure it's 60 HP. So there's this one that's 60. This one that's 60. This one that's 60. This one that's 60. One retreat, one retreat, one retreat, two retreat. That one's out. Fuck that. And then this I wouldn't be able to use. This I technically could use for a 20 kick or a 20 mud slap. So which art do I like more? I really like this card though. It's so cool. Here, we'll throw this one out. So it's either this one or this one. And fuck it, we'll just use the grass one. Or we can not use the grass one so we don't think it's a Badoo, because it really doesn't matter. Since from Oblivion Flames, I should have it. So yeah, anyway. That's just me noticing small, stupid shit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to put this one together. Seems cool. I think that's... Yeah, I don't know if I have the Petra. I don't think I do. I think I have all the other ones. So I think Petra is the only thing really I'd have to pick up besides these. Also, this deck does survive rotation. The only thing is this and this. Like, the Dark Patch is the only thing that hurts, but you only play it one of. Featherball, you can just replace that with Terra Orb. Mud Slap 1 regionals for Go. So that's cool, because I am wanting to future-proof a deck that I'm playing. But I'm sure that I'll switch it up with rotation, because we get some really cool shit. And the whole trainer mechanic thing is something that I've never dealt with, and seems pretty dope. So if there's a way that I can make a Hydreigon fucking in Zorark, that'd be wild. So we're currently in the cooking department. Cooking up the next deck. Chef base, yeah. Yes, chef. This also does have a lot of items. But if we just Badoo each other, it won't matter. And then I Zerosic. And then it's a real problem. Then it's a real problem. So the other options is like Badoo counters. The theory is Elekid and Cacnea. This Elekid has a... I like the Elekid way more than the Cacnea. Because it doesn't really... Like, you have to start with this and then start with Badoo. If this Pokemon gets hit by anything that does damage, you put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon, so it'll just instantly kill the Badoo, which is pretty cool. But it has 1 retreat, and they have to attack you, so you pretty much have to set it up. I like the Elekid because it's free retreat, so if anything, it's just like a free retreater. You can go in and out, which is nice. And then it has a non-attach attack that just does... It just attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Which is cool because you can either hit the active Badoo, or if they put one on their fucking bench, you can kill it. So they basically get to stall you once, and then you throw the Elekid down, attack it, dead. So I like the Elekid way more. So the other idea is, instead of, not with this deck, the whole reason is you want Badoo to stall, but maybe for like the like any other deck that is like as the counter to it, I would go with Elekid. And so, but you have to figure out deck space for an Elekid and all that kind of shit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I knew it was gonna be a short stream. I did fucking yap for an hour, so I think that's pretty sufficient as my recap. So thanks for anybody who listened. I'm probably gonna end it here. I don't really have any plans to do anything. I do want to just chill. Wasn't gonna play any games or anything. I might see what everything that I have for this. Fairly certain I have everything. I just don't have the Hydreigon line. So I gave it to David. So I gotta pick up a Pecharunt, and if I find any of these, I'll be looking out for that shit. And I don't want to ask anybody yet because I don't want to tell people that I'm not gonna be playing Gold. People think I'm still rocking the go. It's old news. I love him. I love him to death. But playing 13 rounds in the last 2 months, I think it'll be fun to play something really wild tonight. So I'm gonna be playing that Terapagos Charizard. But yeah, take it easy. I don't think I have a fucking sign off. Thanks for showing up. I'll try to stream something. Godspeed in New Orleans. We're gonna find out, man. It's in June. If I'm able to secure a ticket, then I'm definitely playing. But yeah, take it easy until next time. That'll be crazy. NAIC will be crazy. I don't even know how many people will be there, but all right, bye guys.